and welcome to the Festival of Apprenticeships. My name is Vince Tark and I'm a Future Careers Scheme Specialist at VMO2 or Virgin Media O2. And I'll just hand over to my colleague Ben to introduce himself.
So hi everyone, I'm Ben. I'm a Channel Marketing Executive at VMO2, B2B wholesale, but I started as an apprentice 2.5 years ago, but we'll come on to that later in the presentation.
Amazing, Ben. Thank you very much. Awesome. Let's get into this. So, about Virgin Media O2. So first and foremost, nearly 3 years ago, two iconic brands joined forces. As of the 1st of June 2021, Virgin Media and O2 came together to combine the UK's largest mobile network, and with that, a broadband network offering the fastest and most widely available broadband speeds. We're the result of a 50-50 joint venture between our parent companies Liberty Global and Telefonica, and are now one of the UK's largest businesses. And truth be told, we have some exciting times ahead, and it really is a brilliant time to join us. So, our story. So this slide breaks down our story into some key sections. The why is really important as it gives purpose to everything that we do. Connectivity is at the heart of what we do, and re-imaging this can give us a real edge in the market. We are connecting more people, powering more businesses, and doing this in a greener way. The what. The what gives the context to our business, and it's what we are doing on a daily basis. Upgrading the UK and its businesses with the fastest fibre and best mobile packages is going to leave a lasting impact on the market. Finally, the how. You can see our 3 values on the screen. These 3 values are reflected in everything that we do. Our actions and our interactions. We believe that collaborating together with these team play values will really contribute to our success. And as you can see, underpinning all of this is our purpose. See what you can do. The C is about working from one source of facts and data to drive our decision making. The what is our strategy. We have one shared mission that we all aim to deliver. And the U. The U is all about us. Achieving results through high performing team play. We have a can-do attitude that gives us momentum behind the growth of our company. And the do is all about rolling up our sleeves and ultimately doing it. So, what is an apprenticeship? I once asked this question to a colleague of mine some years ago. How would you best describe an apprenticeship? And he said to me, it's about the theory behind the practical work you're learning on a day-to-day basis. So, of course, apprenticeships are amazing in that you can earn while you learn, as well as getting the experience that you need in order to develop yourself. But I thought understanding that the theory behind the practical skills you're using on a day-to-day basis is a great way to describe apprenticeships. So, what different levels of apprenticeships are there? You've got your level 2 apprenticeships, and that's equivalent of 5 GCSEs. You've got your advanced apprenticeship, that's the equivalent of 2 A-levels. You've got your higher apprenticeships, which is the equivalent to the first stages of a higher education, e.g. foundation degree. And then you've got your degree apprenticeships, which is a bachelor's or master's degree. Now, the duration of your apprenticeships vary depending on the level of apprenticeship you're doing. But it can be anything from 12 months up until 6 years if you're doing a degree apprenticeship. So here's a bit of an overview about apprenticeships at Virgin Media O2. So first and foremost, we established our Future Careers program in 2008. And one of the most amazing things about this is some of the apprentices that started with us way back then are still with us today, and they're in some senior roles, others are in some specialist roles, but ultimately they're still with us and they continue to grow. So again, they vary in length from 15 months to 4 years, depending on the level. And one thing that's really, I guess, attractive about our apprenticeships is our starting salaries. So our starting salaries range from anything from 22.5K up until £30,000. Typically, we don't have a specific time when we recruit apprentices, so this is all year round. We have like set times throughout the year, but you can apply for any of our roles as and when they become available. And I think a real slept-on benefit that VMO2 offer is a permanent contract from day one. So that means ultimately from the day that you start, you have that security that you're building the knowledge, skills and behaviors that you need in order to offboard and smash the role you've been, training to do. And obviously, as you can see on the screen as well, we've got the range of schemes that we offer. So we kind of got our 2 different buckets, I would say. So you've kind of got your universal programs, which is like your project management, your business admin, and then you've got your specialist qualifications in stuff like cybersecurity, DevOps, digital marketing, and that kind of thing. As well as that, when you start with VMO2, you get a 2-day core induction. You get on-the-job training. We allocate you buddies as well as your line manager. And ultimately, you got a dedicated future careers team as well. We also have a future careers committee. So this is made up of grads, interns, and apprentices. And ultimately, the future careers team collaborate with them in order to, make decisions about our future career schemes. And over here, we can just see a little timeline of a breakdown of what the apprenticeship looks like with VMO2. So as you can see, you start with us on your 2-day future careers inductions. You get your academic enrollment with the training provider. And then it's you've got your training provider-led modules, as well as your learner progress reviews taking place. And that's kind of how it works up until you get to the point of endpoint assessment. Now, endpoint assessment can sound kind of scary, but what I will say is that it's at the end of your apprenticeship for a reason. Over the duration of your apprenticeship, you'll build up the knowledge, skills, and behaviors that you need to ultimately smash your endpoint assessment. And finally, is one thing that we love is the graduation event. We love celebrating wins at VMO2. It's not just about the hard graft, it's about being able to come out the other side, build momentum, and be able to celebrate the wins that you've been achieving. So I'm just going to touch on our recruitment process quickly. So the way that we work is we've got the application form, we've got an online test, you've got your telephone interview, and you've got your coaching call. Now, if we go back to the beginning at the application form point, we ask for no CVs. What we do ask is that you just tell us about yourself. Showcase your personality and be sure to put your personality, put your stamp on everything that you do within Virgin Media O2 from the get-go, from the application. As well as that, we use an online assessment designed to understand your strengths and your working preferences to promote fairness for all. The assessment employs adaptive AI-powered scoring techniques that allow us to embrace diversity and neurodiversity. We then have a telephone interview. This will be a series of questions with focus on motivation and your strengths to give us a chance to learn a bit about you. As mentioned, it's all about you putting the stamp on the things that you do whenever we're interacting. And finally, you get your coaching call. It's good to talk. This gives us a chance to have a quick one-on-one chat to just help you prepare for your final stage, which is our assessment center. And that's your real opportunity to shine. So what do our assessment centers look like? So first and foremost, we start with a bit of a welcome. So this is an insight to the organization, some of the benefits about working within VMO2, and bringing the role to life that you've applied for. We then go into a group exercise activity where ultimately we just watch you work with other people, see how you interact in a team. And then you have a one-to-one task with an assessor. And then finally, we wrap the day up with an interview. But overall, we get great feedback about our assessment centers, about making people feel comfortable and hungry to do well. So where could you work? So this just gives you a bit of an insight of the range of different roles that we have available at Virgin Media O2. But then also in the business areas as well. So we have roles that come up in the people team, the field, digital, business to business. The list goes on. And finally, if we have a look at that little map on the right-hand side, that gives you an insight of where our future careers committee, or community, shall I say, are based. They're based all over the place. And we're missing a little red dot because we have a number of individuals based in Scotland as well. So ultimately, you have individuals all over the UK smashing their apprenticeships. Okay, the benefits. Now let's get into this one. So as mentioned, we provide a very competitive salary between 22.5K and 30K for apprentices. You get 5 volunteering days a year through your Take 5 initiative. And this is an opportunity for you to kind of give back to the community, do the things that you love, help the charities that you love. But it's a great opportunity for you to kind of go out into the community and do the things that you love to do. We have an amazing DE&I networks at Virgin Media O2. So there's a number of DE&I networks, but a range of networks that you can get involved in, that showcase your passions. As well as that, you get your pension plan. You get access to Bupa Healthy Minds, along with an employee assistance program. So that's an amazing thing. So there's kind of 2 parts, this one. So you get a Bupa Healthy Minds, where there's a telephone number that you can give a call to that gives you mental health support for whatever you need and gives you some support and advice and guidance. And on the flip side, you've got a number you can call as well that will ultimately give you an insight to if you had any physical concerns that you can have a chat with. Just reiterating, you get that permanent contract from day one. You get many self-serving learning platforms. You get your birthday off, which is always a good one. You get discounts across Virgin companies and mates rates that you can share your discounts with friends and family as well. You get your 25 days holiday, rising to 28 days after 3 years. Now, for the next part, I will be handing over to my colleague Ben, who will be taking you through his journey.
Thank you. Right, so before I get started about my apprenticeship and my sort of journey as an apprentice, a bit about me. So I'm from East Sussex, Eastbourne near Brighton. At school, I did, for my options, GCSEs, business studies, geography, and DT. And then at college, I did A-levels, business studies, economics, and psychology. So I started an apprenticeship at Virgin Media 5 months after leaving college, and my apprenticeship was a network design apprenticeship doing the project management level 4 qualification. So why did I choose an apprenticeship? Ultimately, I was at college and I knew I didn't want to go to university. I was attracted to the social side, but the idea of waiting for 3 years to get a degree, and I wasn't sure how that degree would help me in the long run, wasn't attractive to me. Saying that, I didn't want to go to uni, but I did want to continue learning. So an apprenticeship was the perfect opportunity to start earning money, but also continue my learning. So I went from doing level 3 equivalent with A-levels up to level 4. Also, like the same thing, so earn a qualification, I could continue learning, and that was solidified by earning the qualification, which would help me in the long run. I also wanted to start working and earn money. I had a real drive to do that, so this was the perfect opportunity to learn and earn. And also, apprenticeships are a great way to get a foot in the door in these big companies and then move around afterwards. So this is about my journey to an apprenticeship. So as you can see, school to college, finished college. It was COVID time, so A-levels were scrapped. But then I started applying for apprenticeships and junior level jobs as soon as I finished college. And that summer, I spent interviewing and researching different apprenticeships which attracted to me. Ultimately, I interviewed for Virgin Media O2 and started in September 2021. I then finished it a year ago, about this sort of time. And now, I'm in a permanent role in the company. So a bit more in detail about my apprenticeship. So my role was a design apprentice in Virgin Media O2. I was in the South London, South East regional design team. Basically, what it was doing was planning, costing and designing new network expansion of the Virgin Media services across that region. And my apprenticeship was the Associate Project Management Level 4 qualification, which is one of the widely recognised qualifications in the business industry. That was provided through BPP, who are our external providers, providing us one-on-one support, webinars, materials, everything we needed for the apprenticeship to succeed. So, as an apprentice, certainly at Virgin Media O2, you get given a lot of different opportunities which other people in the business, if they join as a BAU member of staff, wouldn't get. So the epitome of that is being on the Future Careers Committee. Vince touched on this earlier, but I was the Thrive and Wellbeing rep on this. So through this, I was able to raise lots of money for charity. I raised over £2,500 for Movember and over £600 for Comic Relief as well. I was also able to host events. So the pictures there of me hosting the new inductions for the new starters, which was a very full circle moment. I also got to lead the company on National Apprenticeship Week, working collaboratively with Future Careers team and other apprentices. We delivered internal sessions for those on apprenticeships to make the most of it, but also external stuff. As you can see, I did a social media takeover there as well. So other things, I've done lots of PR, I've been in the Times paper twice, talking about apprenticeships and promoting it, talking about my story. But I think the biggest opportunity I had was speaking to the Prime Minister. Now, I'm not saying politically I'm his biggest fan, but it was a big opportunity to come through. And when I was asked to do it, of course I said yes. So I got to ask him a question of personal interest about apprenticeships. That was on one of his LinkedIn events last year. So, post-apprenticeship, like I said, I finished a year ago, so I rolled off into a permanent role after my apprenticeship in the same position, and I was promoted up twice to network designer. Literally 2 weeks ago, I've started a new role in the company as a channel marketing executive in B2B wholesale. This is something which I think is brilliant about apprenticeships. Once your foot's in the door and you've built that connection of networks and other people, you can then move into any role you see fit. So I actually got my new role through an apprenticeship connection I had with someone which also did the same apprenticeship. But you never know. One day I might be the next CEO of VMO2, so keep your eyes peeled. Reflection-wise, when I look back on my apprenticeship, there's lots of things I took away from it. So I've been able to earn job-specific knowledge with no experience in telecoms before. I've obviously earned my qualification and passed my apprenticeship. I've been able to learn new skills and strengthen a lot of skills, like especially my soft and personal skills. My confidence has grown so much from when I started. I've also been able to spread my name and make great connections across the company, which are valuable to my career now, as I've just said. So, what I wish I knew when I was in your position, or certainly when I was in college, was it is competitive. Apprenticeships are becoming more and more spoken about because they're brilliant. But it's not as easy as just applying and getting it. You are going to face competition. But that shouldn't put you off at the same time. Comparison doesn't help you, so this might sound a bit cringe, something your parents might say, but comparing to your friends or how much money they're on, what company they work for, it's really not important. Everyone's on a different path, and it's not measurable to compare that. I also wish I knew the variety of apprenticeships available. So obviously there's lots of different levels, but now there's so many apprenticeships opened up in different areas. Like I believe you can do it to become a teacher, a doctor, all of these areas which are now available for apprenticeships. And also most people want to help. Of course, there are inevitably difficult people at times, but if people, you reach out to them for support, they want to see you do well and they want to be part of that. So finally, my tips, if you're applying or thinking about apprenticeships, be brave and persistent. Like I said, it's competitive. Don't let the fear of rejection hold you back. Sell yourself, so draw upon your strengths and show why you're the best for the role. Also, have a good CV prepared. So it's ultimately going to save you time and you can adjust it as per the application, as per what the job is looking for. Know your limits, so understand what works for you in terms of logistics, like traveling. You don't want to commit to a job which is actually unreasonable for you to get to. Challenge yourself at the same time, so think outside your comfort zone. Think if you're not confident, maybe go for a more customer-facing role. These things can help you in the long run. And finally, I'd say do your research. So make sure the apprenticeship is right for you and the company. Research the values, the benefits, and the employee satisfaction online. But yeah, that is all from me. I'm happy to reach out to me on LinkedIn, just Ben Shoesmith on LinkedIn. I'm happy to take more than enough questions. So yeah, that is it.
Amazing, Ben. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.